Well, hello everyone, good afternoon, and welcome to Live at the Waterhole. My name is Amy, and I will be with you for the show today. We are very excited to see what's happening at our different locations, and here we're starting off with some beautiful ellie bulls at Tempe Elephant Park. Now remember everyone that this is of course a live and interactive show, so please do chat to me. You can send through any comments and questions that you have via the Wild Earth website or the app. You can also chat to us in the YouTube chat stream. Just remember to use @FC if you'd like to make sure that we see those questions and comments. You can also join the conversation on X using the hashtag WildEarth. Or use our WhatsApp number, where you can add the number that's shown to you on screen as contact, and then use your mobile device to send through your comments and questions. It's lovely to see these boys so relaxed here. Looks like they're taking somewhat of a midday siesta. Every now and again this bull in front does throw some ground on himself. Deb, it's so good to have you on board. Yes, hello. I believe there has been some amazing sightings on the Waterhole show lately. I was chatting to Kerry, so I'm looking forward to see what today holds. And this boy has particularly impressive tusks, actually. Quite a long left tusk. Now we know that this is an area that the bulls really enjoy hanging out. And you can just see that, of course, the sun is shining today. I'm not exactly sure how hot it is, but I'm sure that if it was really, really, really warm, that they would be splashing, with some mud and things like that. But at the moment, it's probably a nice, cool, moderate day. Mercedes, hello, welcome. Oh my word, look at this one. These two seem to be exchanging some greetings, maybe. It's typical of elephant bulls to do this, sort of clash a little bit, determine their strength and dominance between the two of them. Wendy, you want to know if the fur at the end of their tails is there to swat away flies more efficiently. Wendy, I would probably call that at the end of their tails hair rather than fur. Fur is made up of hair, but when I think of fur, I think maybe the covering of an animal that's densely packed with hair. Whereas this is really just, if you have a close look at an elephant's tail, it's a very wiry strands. They're actually thick. They feel like wire. That's at the end. But their purpose is, as you say, most likely to actually swat away biting flies or any other insects or things that might be bothering the elephant. Sandy, you're hoping to be able to see something different this morning. Let's hope so as well.
My heart is pounding at the moment.
We are here in one of the best places in the world to see tigers.
Safari, wine, and waterfalls. The ultimate African adventure. Sip South Africa's finest wines. Experience a world-class safari among Africa's iconic wildlife. And stand in front of Victoria Falls, one of the natural wonders of the world. All this can be yours with Wild Earth Travel, where Africa comes alive.
Well, this has been quite the show. It looks like this elephant's about to chase these impalas. Spas, you were asking, how do elephant bulls show dominance between each other? And well, we're really having a display of that taking place. Oh, that impala is ratting there. But really, there's a few different things that we look out for. I think there's a lot of communication that happens vocally that we're not aware of because of the infrasound that elephants use, but often it has to do with posture. One elephant laying its trunk on top of the other, or even on top of its head. Sometimes they even mount each other. That's more when they're younger, just because of the size of them. And then really it comes down to size and strength, and the bigger the elephant, then the larger they are, of course, and the stronger they are. And the bigger elephants tend to be the more dominant ones. So sometimes the dominance displays between elephants can be quite subtle, and then other times it can be very clear when they have physical fights and you have one that's more dominant than the other, in that they're pushing the other one back, and the other one then turns tail and moves away submissively. Well, I believe there is a giraffe up at Old Donyo, so why don't we go and see if it is still around. Well, this is just beautiful. It looks like it's a bit overcast here today, a bit of a breeze blowing, but a beautiful male giraffe here that we can enjoy looking at. Kaz, it's lovely to have you on board, and we're having lovely weather in the Lowveld today, I must say. It really, I've been saying this a lot, but I will say it again because it's so true. But this time of year in the Lowveld, you just have the most gorgeous days. Usually we don't have a lot of wind. There are certain times of the year where it does come up, but for the most part it was one of the most incredible discoveries of my life because I grew up along the coast, and there's a lot of wind along the coast, and you hardly ever, maybe one day a year, where you don't have wind that comes up, especially actually in the evenings or the late afternoon. Anyway, coming to the Lowveld and even just inland in general was the lack of wind and these perfectly still evenings that we get. It really is so magical. Oh, cameo by that warthog. Oh, is this giraffe coming to drink? I hope so. That will be wonderful. Helen, giraffe neckings get extremely serious. I have never seen one lead to a fatality, but I believe they can. So very, very serious indeed. For those of you who may not know what I'm talking about, when we refer to neckings, we refer to male giraffes that fight for dominance, just like we saw those elephant bulls tussling it about between each other. So do giraffes do in their own way. It always amazes me every time just how cautious the giraffe is before they drink. And you think those warthogs have come and gone, they're not too bothered, but a giraffe really does take its time. Nina Brown, yes, absolutely. And I think not only when giraffes are close to water, but generally around skittish animals, or any animal actually, any sort of sudden movement means that they might get a fright, or you might alter their behavior. Whereas especially when we're on safari with the wild earth drives, the camera at the back of the vehicle is often a very new sort of look for the vehicle compared to normal game drive vehicles with the guests on the back, and the animals are used to that. And because we swing the camera from left to right, move it, it often, the cam ops also have to be very aware of how quickly they move and how quickly they move the camera, because so often, sometimes it just happens absent-mindedly. You're like, oh, there it is, and you quickly look, and next thing, that movement, the bird flies away, or the leopard jumps down the tree, or there's so many things that can happen. But obviously on reserves where we've been for a very long time, that doesn't bother the animals so much anymore. But animals like giraffe, zebra, the plains game, that are generally a lot more alert, they can be thrown off, as it were, by any sort of sudden movement. And that even goes for myself as the driver, or any guest on a normal game drive. To suddenly turn, or particularly standing up, is a no-no. So Nina, we definitely wouldn't do it around giraffe coming to water, because it might throw them off and they might end up not drinking, which is harmful to them because they need the water. But also we just wouldn't do it, we try not to do it at all around animals in general.
My heart is pounding at the moment.
We are here in one of the best places in the world to see tigers.
Safari, wine, and waterfalls. The ultimate African adventure. Sip South Africa's finest wines. Experience a world-class safari among Africa's iconic wildlife. And stand in front of Victoria Falls, one of the natural wonders of the world. All this can be yours with Wild Earth Travel, where Africa comes alive.
I can see there is a stalk that is there. And I think there are some vultures up in the tree. In fact, if I'm not mistaken, we are heading towards feeding time now here for the vultures. You can see them gathering there. Those look like white-backed, but there could be a few hooded vultures in between. Kirsten, that's a very interesting question in terms of tracking bird numbers, but it all has to do, I think there are estimates given, but I think in general it all has to do with research and monitoring that are done of specific species, especially those that are highly endangered or vulnerable. They need a little bit extra attention, and it's obviously easier to track when there are fewer of the birds, but when you have very large numbers, for example like red-billed quailias, it's an estimated however many million in the world, for example. It does look like a yellow-billed stork there. Ah, and a grey heron hiding behind the bush. Ooh, sugar bits. I'm not sure what's on the menu for the vultures today. I'll have to check with the kitchen at Vic Falls Safari Lodge what leftovers or perhaps even pieces of carcass they might have to give them. But for those of you who may be wondering, generally we don't feed animals, but there's an exception made with the conservation project made here at Vic Falls to help provide a safe food source for vultures who are commonly killed by poisoning. Oh, let's head over now back to South Africa and see some zebras that are at Tau. Well, they are so beautiful, aren't they? Especially this scene. It really is so pretty. And I love that we get to see so many of them that hang out here at Tau together. Sandy Franklin, hi. You are talking about the tree climbing lions in Tanzania and why the difference in behavior. So we can only speculate as to why that is, but it is something you don't. I know the lions there are quite famous for doing that, but there have been lions in trees on Phinda. In KwaZulu-Natal, I saw lions climb trees in the Lowveld, in the Sabi Sands, as well as in Sandringham the other day. So it's definitely not something that is isolated and only found with the lions in Tanzania, but they do it more commonly than others. And I think it's something that's been passed on, and they realize they actually quite good at it. Or the trees that they climb there lend themselves very comfortably to lions being able to climb them. Lovely to see an elephant here as well. A few waterbuck around, I think, too. Also nice to see, I think, what looks to be a herd of elephants here, not just some males, but rather a few different sized ones. It's also so lovely to see Madikwe still looking so green, pretty much at the beginning of winter now. Karen, yes, I do think that some predators do come down during the day at Tau, although it's not very common. We did see lions off in the thickets at a distance once, but it is not something usually that happens. But with winter approaching, it may be something that we see as the temperatures start to drop and the daytime becomes more bearable for predators to be out and about.
My heart is pounding at the moment.
We are here in one of the best places in the world to see tigers.
Safari, wine, and waterfalls. The ultimate African adventure. Sip South Africa's finest wines. Experience a world-class safari among Africa's iconic wildlife. And stand in front of Victoria Falls, one of the natural wonders of the world. All this can be yours with Wild Earth Travel, where Africa comes alive.
Well, it sounds like they are going to feed there at the Skycam in Zim any moment now, so let's head over there. like they're all still hanging around, some of them at that little water bath. Some of them may be heading to the bigger water hole. We'll just have to see. I wonder if they have eaten already. Okay, well, I hope these vultures, I think they're all still waiting around. It looked like maybe they were splitting up in little groups like they often do, but they're also probably the way saying, you know, lunch is late. Well, we will pop back here as soon as any action happens. But in the meantime, some more elephants have arrived at Tembe. Wow, what a beautiful sight here at Tembe. The lighting is so pretty as well. Starbuck, that's a very interesting question that you've asked about the relationship between older and younger bulls. But no, they don't really have a protective instinct over each other that I'm aware of. That instinct is very much for the elephant herds between females and their young and each other. But when it comes to bulls, they really are lone rangers in a lot of ways. I think they are protective of elephant kind, you know, and themselves, in that if there's lions around or something, you know, they might chase them off, and that might help younger bulls, but it's not necessarily with them in mind.
My heart is pounding at the moment.
We are here in one of the best places in the world to see tigers.
Safari, wine, and waterfalls. The ultimate African adventure. Sip South Africa's finest wines. Experience a world-class safari among Africa's iconic wildlife. And stand in front of Victoria Falls, one of the natural wonders of the world. All this can be yours with Wild Earth Travel, where Africa comes alive.
It's lovely to be able to have the time to watch the interaction. Oh, very nice. Let's go see some buffaloes arriving at Victoria Waterhole. Well, this is the first time I'm seeing buffalo here at Vic Falls. And it's lovely to see, even if it is a small herd coming for a drink. And nice to hear the oxpeckers very clearly. That sort of harsh call with a chip at the end. Talon, yes, it is true that elephant tusks will continue to grow throughout its life, and depending, though, if they do get damaged or break, they won't regrow, but they do get thicker and longer as an elephant gets older. And it's actually the same with buffalo horns. They also continue to grow throughout a buffalo's life, but as they reach the end of their life or maturity, those horns do grow at a much slower rate. And you can see it with older bulls especially, how thick their bosses, which is the layer of keratin, get towards the end of their lives. Sandy, no, there's not crocodiles in all of the waterhole locations. In places like Namibia, there aren't large river systems to bring things like crocs and hippos into the desert areas. So not every waterhole always has crocs, or in that matter, hippos in. But here, you'll definitely find crocs. Can see these marabou stalks here walking along the shoreline. Those buffaloes are slowly disappearing, but So cool to see them. And not all buffalo herds are huge. Some can be quite small, especially when grazing is very, very good. They don't necessarily all congregate together. Oh, that one's having a bit of a scratch. They're deciding to come back. That's great. Buffaloes are heavily water dependent animals. They need to drink at least twice a day. Their digestive system needs quite a bit of water to function, and you see that very clearly in their dung. It's very wet and sloppy. It looks pretty much the same as domestic cattle's dung. Nice to hear the sounds of them here around the water. Ooh, oh, it's a hooded vulture. I thought maybe it was an eagle on the ground, but it's a hooded vulture. Calvin, you are 100% right. They do look black/brown depending on the lighting. And it all has to do with the way the light hits the fur. Some of them do just have a lighter coloration than others, and that's just a genetic difference. But the black is actually very, 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 very dark brown. That comes off as being completely black, but under the right lighting you see those few chocolate notes. Also, some of the younger buffaloes will still be quite brown in color. Speaking of a croc here, there is one. Lurking. Careful, buffaloes. Goodness me. Are we in for some action? realistically though, that croc to take a full grown buffalo, highly unlikely. Buffalo calf maybe. So I think it's also just checking to see. It's not, I don't think it's the biggest croc just yet. So you know, it's exciting to know that it's there, and if we see any young buffaloes, we'll definitely be paying close attention to see if it even has an attempt at taking one. Ooh, I wonder if the croc didn't give them a bit of a fright there. It actually sounds like those are yellow-billed oxpeckers, I must say. Maybe not all of them, but some of them, that sort of very zippy sound. Not many tweets in between. Brandon, you'd like to know if crocodiles survive in salt water. They do. They do. They're actually a whole subspecies known as the saltwater crocodiles. So if you put one of these in salt water, I don't think it would be able to survive. But saltwater crocs actually have developed a gland that's in the mouth, I believe, and that actually filters out excess sodium from their bodies, so that they remain in balance and can survive in salt water.
My heart is pounding at the moment.
We are here in one of the best places in the world to see tigers.
Safari, wine, and waterfalls. The ultimate African adventure. Sip South Africa's finest wines. Experience a world-class safari among Africa's iconic wildlife. And stand in front of Victoria Falls, one of the natural wonders of the world. All this can be yours with Wild Earth Travel, where Africa comes alive.
I don't think that this particular waterhole is part of a river system. We do know that the Zambezi River flows the Zambezi River forms the Victoria Falls, so I'm sure it's very close by. And the crocs would have crossed land from there to get to this water source. And in fact, I've seen many times the tracks of crocs in the morning with them having moved around at night. All right, let's head over to Naledi Dam. Oh, hooray! It has been a while since I have seen some elephants here at Naledi. We've always had such lovely sightings of them at previous times. Well, we've just lost the feed there, everyone. We'll be back as soon as we can. Let's head over to Namibia now and check in at what's happening in Safari Hook. Wow, well, it's been a while since I've been here actually, and it's lovely to see a beautiful giraffe as well as some zebra in the background. Oh, wow, look at this. This is beautiful.
My heart is pounding at the moment.
We are here in one of the best places in the world to see tigers.
Safari, wine, and waterfalls. The ultimate African adventure. Sip South Africa's finest wines. Experience a world-class safari among Africa's iconic wildlife. And stand in front of Victoria Falls, one of the natural wonders of the world. All this can be yours with Wild Earth Travel, where Africa comes alive.
Lady Macbeth, thank you for sharing that info. It's very cool to know that Namibia has had exceptional rains this year, breaking of a 7-year drought, and there is a lot of water around. You can also see how green it is, how much grass is around, which is unusual. So it is lovely to see that. David, you say this is your favorite tree on an island and somehow lots of animals tend to hide behind it. Isn't that the truth? We see it so many times that giraffe is drinking or anything really manages to find the spot just behind the tree. Sugar bits, I do too. I love seeing different species gathering together like that. It is really nice to be able to have such variety around the waterholes. Nature lover, you'd like to know how many years a giraffe can live up to. So I believe it's anywhere between 20 and 30, averaging about 25 years. Nature lover. Lucy, no. So there won't be any crocodiles that I'm aware of in the waterhole here at Safari Hook. Isn't there just something special about a journey of giraffe? Spas, you also enjoying the giraffes today? It really is quite something when there's so many together. Emma, hi. You want to know if giraffes ever sit or lay down? They do. They do. Sit down more so than lay down. In fact, they never really put their head on the ground, just because for them it's very difficult to get back up and makes them extremely vulnerable. So often in the evening time, actually, we see them taking a seat and having a rest at night, but their heads are always up. Well, I suppose it depends what you define large groups as. In giraffe terms, a large group I would say is over 10. I don't think I've seen more than, let's say, 20 together. But I suppose it's possible. I'm sure there's been records of large herds perhaps at some stage, or especially I would suppose if there becomes resources become limited. That's what I'm trying to say. You might find large groups gathering together. But because the social structure is a little bit unstructured, you can see that they will associate with different individuals on a daily, weekly, monthly basis. And that might be a larger group, or it might be a much smaller group, barring a mother and calf, of course, being permanent while that calf is still reaching maturity. I know, Spas, it's beautiful, isn't it, the way they are drinking in order? It really is such a special sighting here at Safari Hook this afternoon.
My heart is pounding at the moment.
We are here in one of the best places in the world to see tigers.
Safari, wine, and waterfalls. The ultimate African adventure. Sip South Africa's finest wines. Experience a world-class safari among Africa's iconic wildlife. And stand in front of Victoria Falls, one of the natural wonders of the world. All this can be yours with Wild Earth Travel, where Africa comes alive.
Wildlife lady, it is indeed. It is indeed mud bath time for the waterholes. Oh, look at this little one. I think it's cuddling up there. I don't know if it's a family member or just a male and female together. These two are making this look so inviting. I want to join them. Suppose there's a few reasons why the warthogs enjoy wallowing like this. I think it feels really good for them. I also think it cools them down, which is a big part of wetting the skin, so that when the breeze blows, it helps cool down their body temperature. I also believe that when they are covered in mud, that they suffocate things like ticks that might be bothering them, or any other parasites. Oh my word, look at these two. Oh, this is just adorable. Big sigh. Oh, zebra. How beautiful are the zebras at Founders? I mean, I know zebras are pretty much the same everywhere, but it's like they get washed here. They're so black and white. It's so beautiful. Erica, I know. I could also watch them all day. Oh, there's another one arriving. Mindy, it is like pure joy on their faces. I think this one is like, can I join you guys? Please? It looks so nice. Oh, and the little one. That's so cute. Emma, you want to know if there are teeth coming out the side of their nose? Well, it is a dental structure. I call them tusks. I think the official term is tushes. But they are part of the jaw. They sit there, and it is a dental protrusion that comes out from the side of the face. is just so beautiful. Those colors, the reflections. Wildlife lady, yes, I do think that on occasion the zebras can turn quite orange. I saw that at Velgevonden, actually, that has very much the same orangey soil like what we see here at Founders Lodge. But they're obviously not rolling that much in it before we see them anyway. I'm seriously channeling this warthog this afternoon. I think we can all feel like we want to be it. Relaxing like this. Not a care in the world. Well, for something that we haven't been to today, let's go and see what's happening at Stony Point.
My heart is pounding at the moment.
We are here in one of the best places in the world to see tigers.
Tatemba utatamana min.
Safari, wine, and waterfalls. The ultimate African adventure. Sip South Africa's finest wines. Experience a world-class safari among Africa's iconic wildlife. And stand in front of Victoria Falls, one of the natural wonders of the world. All this can be yours with Wild Earth Travel, where Africa comes alive.
Well, how cute is that, Dusty? It's literally found the perfect spot there and a headrest. Joanne, yes, it's wonderful to be here at Stony Point. I know it's your favorite. Nice to end off with these beautiful Dussies that have come out to enjoy some sunshine. Wildlife Lady, thank you so much. I'm so glad that you have enjoyed the live at the waterhole today. There's our little penguin nesting site. So far, no signs of the egg or eggs having hatched just yet, but we are looking forward to perhaps some baby penguins in the next few weeks. Erica, it's a pleasure. I'm so glad that you've enjoyed the show today, and it really has been one full of a lot of variety. I think I loved seeing being at Safari Hook today and seeing those giraffe and zebra. That was really cool. Well, it sounds like there may have been some penguin chicks around last night, apparently, that we've seen. So that is super exciting. Hopefully we get a glimpse of them in the daylight soon. Thanks, Erica. Yes, Mika, who's directing the show today, has just told me that. So that's cool. It is right on cue for those like 40 to 41 days of incubation. So that is awesome. Very cool to hear and something to look forward to. Well, everyone, it has been a wonderful show. Thank you for all of your comments and your questions that you sent through today. It was lovely to chat to you. You can see those beautiful cormorants there on the rocks, doing some preening, getting ready to go and dive again later. Jan, it's a pleasure. I'm glad that you've also enjoyed the show, and of course we will be live in an hour's time. 3:30 p.m. begins our sunset safari, so do make sure that you stay tuned right here to Wild Earth. I will see you all out there. Thank you for joining us today, and it's goodbye for me for now.